what's happening everyone? Pragmatic Addict here. Alright, more than halfway through the season, officially got Bill Skarsgård last episode. The tease of this one, like I've said in probably every single episode now, this series and these episodes have just gotten more and more hype. Very much anticipated episode, let's get right into it. So this episode opens in a very strong way. It opens with a black and white flashback, something I was very curious to see in this episode because of what was teased with this in this episode's trailer, but also because of the location where this flashback takes place, as well as the time it's set in, which is in fact 1938, around where season 2 is going to take place, which is 1935. But I will say, not a lot happens in this intro. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that there's not really much to take away from it other than the time frame, knowing where season 2 is going to take place, knowing that this can't just be a coincidence. But again, this particular location as well as some new faces, also knowing that more of this black and white sequence is going to be coming back in this episode just because, again, what I saw in that trailer. It was still a very intriguing start of the episode and left me with a lot of anticipation. But getting past the intro, I loved all the foreshadowing that I picked up on for this episode, focusing on the Kirsch meat market a little bit, some photos that were on display in there, as well as some residents of Derry. It just really set the mood and made the episode what was more to come with it, stuff that we were already anticipating, that much more anticipated. But I will say, majority of this episode is setup, filler. We see a lot more character arc. There's a lot of tension, drama regarding a lot of what happened in the previous episode. And it was fine. It's just I wanted more for how huge that previous episode was and how huge this episode was being teased to be, and also just being this far into the season now. But I will say this, whenever we do get those scare sequences in this episode, I would say damn near everyone, fans are going to get a lot of joy out of them. With Pennywise the Clown actually being in the picture now, just tons of fun Easter eggs, callbacks. But the moment we've all been waiting for in this episode, getting to the scene now where Lily arrives at Mrs. Kirsch's house, the tension, ominous, slow, silent buildup, the sequence finally coming into picture, the setup, mood, it was perfect, man, and was pretty reminiscent to the tone and build-up that we got with Beverly Marsh and Mrs. Kirsch in It Chapter 2. And all this, along with the slow reveal of everything where you don't know what's gonna happen, don't know what's real or not, and is also just so tense because, again, how anticipated everything here is and how on edge you are because of the whole subject and the tone. But also, this is where we cut back to the black and white flashback. And I'll say this, without spoiling too much, with this being the particular point where that flashback comes back in, and again the time frame where this flashback takes place, as well as the stuff that we get further in this flashback, it is a very exciting first look at where season 2 may very well take place, which I think is a great time to start teasing considering how far we are now into this first season, which I will also say this. This also is where we get the next batch of Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown in this series. And I'll say this much. Huge step up from what we got in the previous episode introducing him. Where I would go as far as to say, this is the next actual batch of terrifying, iconic scenes of Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown since the movies. Where this whole Mrs. Kirsch scene ends, it really pays off. Is more than I personally expected and is huge for fans, but still leaves you with plenty of questions to further anticipate with this. But now, in the final portion especially of this episode, we finally see the black spot for the first time actually up and running, and I was very pleased with what I got finally seeing this iconic location in its full glory. And that, but also knowing what's coming, especially with where this episode closes off with, it was very emotional. Overall, this episode ended easily with the most hype, tension anticipated for what's next to come than any other episode. And I'm definitely giving this episode a positive review. Guys, now just 2 episodes left, 2 or 3, I want to say 2. Again, some sources have been saying 9, some have been saying 8. But getting the mid-season trailer after 4 episodes, I'm going to go with 8. 6 episodes out of the 8, all being bangers. I am so happy with how this first season has been looking. And that with, again, now getting season 2 seemingly teased, I am so excited what is just going to happen from this point on. And again, with each season going further back in time, like I was saying in the previous episode, just how curious I am to know what happens between now and It Chapter 1. Again, I think it's just going to get very brutal from here on out. Definitely let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. And all this being said, also guys, also having episode 7's trailer out, I cannot wait to get into that right after I put up this video. I will see you guys in the next video extremely soon. Take care.